going on, Cowboys fans? It's your boy Foots here. I'm back from the draft. What an experience it was. From our picks to the people to meeting people to the way that the arena, the way that AT&T was set up, from being in the city and getting a vibe and just meeting with the fans. It was really a great experience, and I'm back. I'm really excited about this draft class. And what I wanted to do with this video, I want to give grades, but not grades that are based on what I wanted to do. Because you guys kind of know how I felt about certain prospects, and obviously like the Leighton Vader Esch pick, for example. A lot of Cowboys fans really weren't happy. But then as you think about it, you take a step back, you marry the pick. You know, first off, this team's going to have to marry that pick to their scheme. But then you marry the fact that, listen, he's a Cowboy now. So we better like it. We better figure out a way to become fans of him. And we better try to see what they saw in him. So that's all that these grades are. You're going to see a lot of, recaps, grades. But you guys kind of know that the draft is my baby. Like, that's my ride. Goodbye, baby. So I love this draft stuff, man. I live for it. I'm a draft nerd. And being able to have that dialogue with you guys is actually really cool. So let's go through these picks from Leighton all the way to Scarbrough. You guys see the picks on the screen. Let's go through these picks and kind of get this dialogue going. All right, guys. So I gave the Leighton Vader Esch pick a B-. Listen, initially when he was drafted, it was one of those things like, but revisiting the pick, getting my thoughts together, I think that he really does have some really good upside. I don't know if he'll be Brian Urlacher, but probably more like of a Chad Greenway type. They want to drop him in coverage. He has very fluid hips. From everything that I'm hearing, reading, he's a very smart player. Everything that I've seen, he is a very smart player. Come downhill, really good tackler, always in good position. So they like that. But what they do coverage-wise, I think that they like his size as well. So to me, I think that this is a really good pick. I gave it a B- after second thought. Connor Williams gets an A from me. If you would have told me that Connor Williams would have been available at pick 50, I probably would have laughed at you. And it's funny because being a draft nerd, you know that this is 100% a value and a best player available pick. So you hit both. And really it was a need because there was a lot of leakage on that left side. Jonathan Cooper's out. Connor Williams will be in. I love Marcus Martin, but he's not as good as this guy. All you need to know about him is that he's Dane Brugler's second-rated tackle. Very technically sound. Me and Vash Lombardi talked about that, so I really like this pick a lot. Philly tried to troll us. It really didn't matter because I think that we probably got the best value in the second round. Connor Williams gets an A. All right, guys, Michael Gallup, definitely an A-. And the only reason why I didn't give it an A is because he's not quite the height that I want. But if you just watch his play style, he's so smooth. Doesn't have the great speed, but it doesn't matter because he is a route running technician. Like, you won't be able to say that he can't run the full route tree. Has very sure hands, has a lot of yak ability, yards after the catch. So I think that this pick, he's instantly better than Terrence Williams. And that's a fact, Cowboys fan. So I think that the Dallas Cowboys did a really good job letting the draft come to them and really, quite frankly, just knocking this pick out the park. I gave Michael Gallup an A- for sure. Okay, guys, gave the Dorance Armstrong pick a C+. I thought they would have went safety here. I thought they would have went running back here. Now, obviously, we saw what they did with Tavon Austin. They want to convert him to a running back. So maybe that answers their need there. But to me, Dorance Armstrong has the pass rush ability. You just got to be able to get it out of him all the time. But being able to create competition, he will be a rotational guy. Probably takes Tapper's job in the offseason. So let's see. From everything that I'm hearing, the Cowboys are really high on him. Has a really good first step. Had a bunch of production in 2016. The thing with Armstrong is he just has to be consistent. Can't have that production drop off like he did in 2017. But I like the pick. I gave the Dalton Shultz pick a C. Only because I think that the Cowboys were caught off guard. I don't even know if they really had tight end, as a sure need. This is definitely a Jason Witten retirement pick. But I think that Schultz has some ability. Has some ability. More of an inline guy. Plays with power and is very smart. So I like this pick. Don't really love it. So I had to give it an honest grade of a C. Sorry, Cowboys fans. It is what it is. Like I said, they really got caught. So I really do like this Mike White pick. Gave it a B+. I don't know if you guys have caught how I felt about him, but listen, I mocked him to us a couple times. I just like the player. I had a feeling that Dallas would draft a quarterback. They've really had their eye on this guy, and you want to keep competition at every position. Nobody's safe. And when you watch Mike White play, he has subtle things about his game that you guys will like. Pocket awareness, really groovy in the pocket. Doesn't have a big arm, but throws people open. Listen, if it doesn't pan out, it doesn't pan out. But if it does pan out and he shows well in preseason, you could flip him for a pick. I really like this pick, B+. All right, Cowboys fans. So Chris Covington, he gets a C. Just a classic special teams traits guy. You lost Wilbur and you lost Hitchens, so you need to throw bodies at the position. Played middle, played outside, was a quarterback in high school, little nugget. So he plays with power, your classic try-hard guy. But the chances of him making an active roster aren't really high, especially with you signing Joe Thomas. But I like the pick a little bit, so I gave it a C. Cedrick Wilson gets a B from me because he was actually rated very high, according to some scouts. Now, has deep ball ability, only ran a 4.5, but he tracks the ball very well. There's only one thing about Cedrick Wilson that I don't like. He lets the ball get into his body a little more than I would like. I don't want any more Terrence Williams traits on this team. I need hands catchers. But other than that, I like the pick, so I gave it a B, especially for where you drafted him at. And Bo Scarbrough, to me, he gets a C, only because he reminds me of Brandon Jacobs, and I hated Brandon Jacobs, even though he was a really good player for the Giants. No, he's a classic power guy. Long shot to make the team, but hey, he can come out in training camp, and behind this line, he actually could, make some noise. I think they like Ross Smith, and obviously what they just did with Tavon Austin. It'll be hard for him to make this team, but Alabama, who knows, has the pedigree. So what do you guys think? Guys, so that's kind of how I feel. That's kind of my grading system. All in all, I give this draft A-, B+. We gotta wait 2 to 3 years to see what's gonna happen. Listen, you can't judge. The Cowboys had a plan. They went and executed, so you can't judge it right away. People are gonna do that. You're gonna hear analysts who may have wanted the Cowboys to draft who they wanted, but the organization had a plan. They wanted to, start to make some transition over at linebacker. They want to play opportunistic defense and opportunistic offense. The receiving core, obviously moving Switzer. Obviously, you hear Stephen Jones talk about the web back, so what they're going to do with Tavon. And then obviously the Jihad Ward pick, that's almost like in moving Switzer for Jihad Ward, that's almost like getting a second-round pick. They coached him up at the Senior Bowl, so they like him. So those trades, that's part of this draft as well. So we got to let things play out. They're going to have a mini camp here coming up soon. Let's just let it play out, all right? The Gallup pick to me is one. I talked about it in the breakdown. Gallup, just so clean. It's just things that you can't coach, and he's obviously mastered. He's really a route technician. So these picks, they let the board come to them. They let Michael Gallup fall in their lap, a second-round receiver for me. Mike White, according to Dane Brugler, he was a 6th-rated quarterback. So that's what I'm talking about by letting the draft come to them. I think that the Cowboys really drafted well. Now we just have to wait and see. Yo, it was just so much fun getting out there, meeting all you YouTubers, Vach. Obviously, I rode down with Mark Holmes, meeting some of you fans. Sarah Green, awesome person. Miss Jackie, awesome person. The list goes on. VZP, a couple other of you guys. You guys were amazing. Thank you for all the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this draft. We're football nerds. We love our Cowboys, and we love football. So, as a fan, just being in that atmosphere, talking to other educated fans, it was really cool. All right, y'all. Peace. Oh, yeah. Before I go, I'm going to do an NFC East breakdown. You guys make sure that you send this video around to all your friends who may not have liked this draft. Maybe this will change their mind. Send this video around. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. All right, now, peace.